Sheetal Mataji. Today we are going to sing a bhajan to worship Lord Gadadhar, who is one of the main Panchatattwas. So his disappearance day is tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very auspicious day. There's the festival of Gundicha Marjan, which is cleaning the temple of Gundicha to accept Jagannath Ratha Yatra after Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra Maharani travels in their chariots. They reach the Gundicha temple, which is about 2 miles away from the Jagannath Puri temple. So Gundicha Marjan is a festival to prepare the temple for the Lordship to come. That's tomorrow. And there's one more festival, which is it is the disappearance day of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, also tomorrow. Great Acharya who has given us so much. He's the father of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and it's a great Acharya in the line of disciple succession. And we can learn a lot from Bhaktivinoda Thakur because he was a Grahastha and still did all his duties, material duties, beautifully, along with his Krishna consciousness. And he brought his Krishna consciousness into everything he did. And he was very meticulous in his work as a magistrate judge. And he wrote so many books. It is said that once we come to Krishna consciousness through our beloved Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, who is Bhakti Vedanta Swami, we understand the Vedanta of Bhakti through Bhakti Vedanta Swami. And then once we understand Srila Prabhupada's teaching, we can take up Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj teachings. And Bhakti Siddhanta tells us the principles of Bhakti. And after that, we can learn the teachings of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And then we get Bhakti Vinod. Vinod means the true bliss. So this great Acharya's disappearance day is also tomorrow. So very, very auspicious festivals. So let's prepare our hearts for it. But today we will honor Gadadhar Pandit by singing Gadadhar Ashtakam. This Gadadhar Ashtakam is in Sanskrit, and it's written by Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swabhakti Yogalasinam Sadavraje Viharinam Haripriya Ganagragam Chachi Sutta Priyechwaram Sharada Krishna Sevana Prakachaka Mahachayam Bhajamiya Hamga Dadaram Supanditam Gurum Prabhum Navojwaladibu Vana Vidhana Karma Paragam Vichitra Gaura Bhakti Sindhu Raga Bhagalasinam Suraga Margadarshakam Vrajadiva Shadayakam Bhajamiya Hamga Dadharam Supanditam Gurum Prabhum Sachi Suta Grisara Bhakta Vrindavandya Gauravam Gaurabhava Chitta Padma Madhya Krishna Vallabham Mukunda Gaura Rupinam Swabhava Dharma Dayakam Bhajamiya Hamga Dadharam Supanditam Guru Prabhum Nikunja Seva Nitika Prakashanaika Karanam Sada Shakti Rati Pradam Maharasha Swarupakam Sajatritagripangkajam Sariri Sadgurum Varam Bhajamiyaham Gadadharam Supanditam Guru Prabhum Mahaprabhur Maharasa Prakashanag Kumar Priya Sada Maharasa Gura Prakachana Divasana Mahaprabhu Vraja Ganadi Bava Moda Karakam Bhajami Aham Gadadharam Supanditam Guru Prabhum Dvijendra Vrindavandya Padayukma Bhakti Vardakam Nijeshu Radhikatmata Vapupraka Chanagraham Ashesha Bhakti Shastra Shiksha Yojvalamamrita Prabham Vajamiyaham Gadadharam Supanditam Gurum Prabhum Muda Nija Piyadika Swapada Padma Sindhubhir Maharasarnavamrita Pradeshta Gaura Bhaktidam Sada Satvika Vitam Nijeshta Bhakti Dayakam Bhajami Aham Gadadharam Supanditam Gurum Prabhum Yadi tariti raga raga bhaga dikta manaso naro api yati turnam eva narya bhava bhajanam tamujvalakta chitam etu chita mata chatpado Bhajamiya hamga dhadaram supanditam guru prabhu Maharasamrita pradam sadhagadadharashtakam patetu yasab subhaktito vrajagnaganotsavam Sachitanuja pada padma bhakti ratna yogyatam labedradika gadadharagri padma sevaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, translation. I worship the greatly learned and exalted spiritual master, Sri Gadadhara Prabhu, who appears very splendid, engaged in the Lord's devotional service. He always performs pastimes in Vraja, where he is very prominent among the gopis who are very dear to Lord Hari. Lord Chaitanya, the son of Sachi, is the dear Lord of Gadadhar Prabhu, who is preaching the service of Radha and Krishna. I worship the greatly learned spiritual master Sri Gadadhar Prabhu. He is expertly absorbed in meditation on the 9 rasas of devotional service, beginning with Ujjwala rasa, conjugal love, and he dances in waves of amazing ocean of devotional service to Lord Chaitanya. He preaches the path of Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service, and he is a fit person to attain residence in the transcendental land of Vraja. I worship the greatly learned Spiritual Master Srila Gadadhar Prabhu, the best of who are devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, the son of Sachi Devi, offer respectful obeisances to him and treat him with great importance, and he is very dear to Lord Krishna, who is seated in the middle of the lotus flower, which is his heart. Assuming his golden form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he preaches that Lord Mukunda has assumed the golden form of Lord Chaitanya, and he returns the living entities to their constitutional positions as servants of the Lord. I worship the greatly learned and exalted spiritual master, Srila Gadadhar Prabhu. It is only because of him that the truth of the exalted devotional service performed by the intimate associates of Krishna in the forests and groves of Vrindavan has been revealed. He is preaching the ecstatic love attained by the gopis, and he is indeed a personification of the mellows of devotional service. The saintly devotees take shelter of his lotus feet, and he teaches the truth of spiritual life to the living entities. I worship the greatly learned spiritual master, Srila Gadadhar Prabhu. He is very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is as if he has sprouted from the manifestation of the Lord's ecstatic love. He is always adorned with the garments of ecstatic love of Godhead, and he delights Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by arousing in the Lord the ecstatic emotional love experienced by the gopis of Raja. I worship the greatly learned spiritual master, Srila Gadadhar Prabhu, who expands the mellows of devotional service and whose lotus feet are worshipped by the kings of the Brahmanas. Among his confidential associates, he reveals his actual form as Srimati Radharani. He distributes the nectar of the ecstatic mellows of the gopis' conjugal love, strictly following the instructions of all devotional scriptures. I worship the greatly learned spiritual master, Srila Gadadhar Prabhu, with the delight he is giving the devotional service of Lord Chaitanya, which reveals the nectarian ocean of the most exalted mellows of devotional service, along with the nectar flowing from the lotus feet of the gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani, who is most dear to Krishna. Gadadhar Prabhu is decorated with 8 transcendental ecstatic symptoms of Sattvika Bhava, and he is distributing devotional service to his worshipable Lord Krishna. I worship the greatly learned spiritual master Srila Gadadhar Prabhu, even a conditioned soul whose mind becomes anointed by the colorful waves of spontaneous devotional service as delineated by Srila Gadadhar Prabhu, quickly attains the highest level of devotional service. He becomes like a maddened bumblebee whose mind is anointed with the mellows of Ujjvala Rasa, conjugal love. The 8 verses these 8 verses, glorifying Srila Gadadhar Prabhu, distributes the nectar of the most exalted mellow of devotional service, and they are like the festival for the gopis of Braja. If one regularly reads these verses and serves the lotus feet of Sri Gadadhar Prabhu, who is an incarnation of Srimati Radharani, then he will become qualified to attain the jewel of pure devotional service for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, the son of Sachi Devi. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share Gadadhar Ashtakam on the eve of the disappearance day of Gadadhar Pandit. Today, Neela Govind Prabhuji is not able to join us until 7:30 Eastern. So let's take a few minutes to discuss about Gadadhar Pandit, if that's okay.
It's Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the opportunity to discuss about this great personality. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parajacharya Stotra Shata Abhay Charanaramenda, His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Achyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Pilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamahyam Tatadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padangvamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Mama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yatkripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Sri Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today, let's take this opportunity to discuss about this great personality, Gadadhar Pandit, who is one of the Panchatattva. We discussed about Srivas Pandit or Srivas Acharya as the incarnation of Narada Muni a few days back for his disappearance day. So tomorrow is the disappearance day of Gadadhar Pandit. For great personalities, their appearance day, Avirbhav Divas, and their disappearance day or Tirobhav Divas are celebrated because they appear and disappear. They are not born like jivas who are conditioned, who are coming into a material body and leaving the material body, taking another body. These great personalities, they are coming with a purpose, not because of their previous karma. Like most jivas, they are forced to come to this material world based on their previous life karma. However, the great exalted uh, devotees who are Nitya Mukta devotees of the Lord, they come out of their sweet will to serve the Lord in his pastimes. So similarly, Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani herself, who came as a contemporary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One may ask, why would Radharani come if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is coming in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Krishna himself coming in the mood of Srimati Radharani to understand the ecstatic feelings that Radharani has for Krishna, to understand what is so great in him, and to measure how much love Radharani has for Krishna. For all these hidden reasons, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in this hidden incarnation of Gauranga as a devotee of the Lord. to understand these feelings. So if Radharani is represented by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, then why should Radharani herself come as Gadadhar Pandit? So the great acharyas say that whenever Krishna comes, Srimati Radharani wants to come and make sure Krishna is okay. She's always wanting to serve a Supreme Master Krishna, and Gadadhar Pandit came around the same time as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to make sure he is doing well in his mission, as Radharani is always wanting to serve her her beloved Krishna. So Gadadhar Pandit also came along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were childhood friends, and they're actually Krishna and Radha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit. There are many deities, as we have Gaur Nitai in ISKCON. There are deities of Gaur Gadadhar is also worshipped in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and they are not different from Radha and Krishna. So we usually have Gaur Nitai deities, we have Radha Krishna deities, and we have Jagannath Baldev, Subhadra Maharani deities. So in a certain branch of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, more than Gaur Nitai deities, the Gaur Gadadhar deities are worshipped. So Gadadhar Pandit is a very important personality in the Panchatattva. Every day in our singing before chanting the holy names of the Lord, we beg for the mercy of the Panchatattva. So we sing Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Gadadhara's name is taken every day by every ISKCON devotee because we beg for the mercy of the line of disciplic succession coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his contemporaries, the Panchatattvas. The Panchatattva mantra, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. The Bhakta Shakti is Gadadhar Pandit. Bhakta Shakti is the energy of the Lord. And we know Srimati Radharani is the internal energy of the Lord. The internal energy of the Lord can be classified into three: the Sandhini, Samvit, and Haladini. The Sandhini represents the Sat feature or the eternality feature. So we know spiritual energy is eternal, while material energy is temporary. It manifests and unmanifests. The Lord creates all these universe when He breathes out as Mahavishnu. From each pore of His skin, a universe comes out, and a Brahma is assigned for each universe. It could be a 4-headed Brahma or a 4,000-headed Brahma, because there are different sizes of these universes. And the material world is created and destroyed, and this whole material world manifestation is for all the rebellious souls who want to enjoy away from Krishna. He facilitates for the creation of this material world. So starting with Brahma, there are different species in this world. There are 8,400,000 different bodies that the jiva can take to go through the evolution of different consciousness, and finally they can get a human body to purify themselves. So this is the nature of the material energy of the Lord, which is has a start date and an expiry date because of the constant creation and dissolution. But the spiritual energy of the Lord is eternal. There's no beginning or end. It is it's always present, and that feature is this um, Sandini feature or Sat feature. Um, the eternality aspect of this energy is captured with this feature. Then the Samved feature is the fully knowledgeable or omniscient feature of the Lord. The Lord knows everything, past, present, and future. So this important feature of the internal energy is the Samved feature, Sandini Samved, and now the third most important feature is the Haladini feature, which is the supreme bliss. And this energy is Srimati Radharani, who is who is full of love for the Lord. So what can bring greatest happiness is love for Krishna, and the sum total of all the love for Krishna in the creation is Srimati Radharani. So the little bit of love we have for the Lord is not our own. It's all coming from Srimati Radharani, and since she's the sum total of all the love, and it's only with her mercy she gives us a tinge of that, so that we can experience spiritual happiness. And we know spiritual happiness is the topmost. Nothing compares to the material happiness in this world. The spiritual happiness is millions of times more potent. But most jivas, they are searching for this happiness in the wrong place. But if they are able to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, they also can experience this happiness, because the Lord is impartial to everyone, and he allows everybody the opportunity to come to Krishna consciousness. Some are able to build some faith so that they can take up this process, and while taking this process, the person has the opportunity to experience this highest happiness of of spiritual love for the Lord. So we should be really indebted to Srimati Radharani for letting us all come together and discuss about Krishna with some faith on this process, because the Supreme Mother is the one who helps us in our journey, and if we get her mercy, then she really takes us and makes us advance in Krishna consciousness, because we always know that uh, father can be strict, making sure the rules are followed, but the mother is more merciful and more loving, and she cleans us up, and then as children, and then takes us to the dad so that we can have a good interaction with the dad. So we should we should approach Radharani as as the personality who can take us closer to Krishna. And Krishna loves when we talk and think about Srimati Radharani, because Radharani is his beloved counterpart, and when when we when we praise Krishna, Radharani is happy, and when we praise Radharani, Lord Krishna is happy. So that's why in ISKCON, we have both Radha and Krishna on the altar. We are not just looking and praying to Krishna because um, we our process of Gaudiya Vaishnavism is to serve the Lord and Srimati Radharani together, because they're always together. If we look at other Vaishnava Sampradayas, they have no access to Srimati Radharani. Only in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, thanks to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming as Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Radharani is given the highest importance in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. If we go to the south of India, especially Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, all the temples were built. You don't find Radha Krishna deities often, because the Sri Sampradayas, they worship mostly Mahavishnu and Lakshmi Devi. So this great personality, Srimati Radharani, is hidden and is given access only to the most qualified. So I have no qualification, but because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his books, and somehow coming in the touch of the devotees, we have access to this great personality, Srimati Radharani. And she herself came as Gadadhar Pandit. So Gadadhar Pandit had taken Kshetra Sannyas in Tota Gopinath temple. His service was in Jagannath Puri. So there is a beautiful temple called Tota Gopinath, very, very close to the great Jagannath Puri temple, where the Ratha Yatra is going to take place in a few days. So um, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moved to Jagannath Puri, Gadadhar Pandit also came there, though he was born and raised in Mayapur. Um, his service was in Jagannath Puri, in the temple of Tota Gopinath. He had taken the vow of Kshetra Sannyas, which means one serves in the temple, and never leaves that temple, because making sure all the aratis happen at the same time, serve all the devotees coming to the temple to worship the Lord. So that itself is a very important um, uh, and time-taking service that any other service cannot be performed along with making sure the temple is well nourished, and making sure all the deities are taken care of, giving them bhog at the right time. So there are so many services in the temple. So Gadadhar Pandit was just confined to this temple, where he would serve the Lord as Tota Gopinath. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world at a very young age of 48, he entered into this deity of Tota Gopinath. And Gadadhar Pandit was always serving this deity. And even after the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as Gadadhar Pandit was serving the deity so well, and as Gadadhar Pandit got old, and this is a tall deity of the Lord, Gadadhar Pandit was not able to take care of all the wonderful services he used to in his old age. And he was thinking he will pass the deity on to another devotee to do the service. But the Lord is so happy with the service of Gadadhar Pandit. This is the only deity that is sitting down. So one day when Gadadhar Pandit came to the deity, he found that the Lord has sat down So this was a standing deity, but this is the only deity in all of Gaudiya Vaishnavism where the Lord is sitting down. So this is such an amazing temple to visit and meditate on the wonderful service and Gadadhar Pandit. And the Lord sitting down is just showing how much love the Lord has for Gadadhar Pandit, and willing to make it little easier for Gadadhar Pandit to do his deity worship. The Lord sat down. So if you go to Tota Gopinath temple, there is a time after Mangalarati, they let us go in, and they remove the dhoti covering the bottom, and you can see the Lord is sitting position. Just imagine a stone deity standing, but to to have this wonderful pastime, the Lord sat down. So it was not a carving, it is the Lord Himself actually sitting down. So we shouldn't see the deity as just a piece of rock, but it is the Lord Himself, because He's reciprocating so well with His devotee. So Gadadhar Pandit is very exalted personality, and we should meditate on his wonderful pastimes, um, and um, and think about Srimati Radharani, who came as Gadadhar Pandit. We're running. We have 10 more minutes, so let's take some reflections on Srimati Radharani or Gadadhar Pandit as we prepare ourselves for this wonderful festival tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Baswati Mataji, Dandot Pranam.
And all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji very nicely explained about glorifies Gadadhar Pandit. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, we went last year to Jagannath Puri,
Hari Bol.
took the darshan of Tota Gopinath. So beautiful deities, Prabhuji did so beautiful deity. And it's called Padmasan. Uh, Lord God
Sitting.
sitting posture is Padmasan. So beautiful, Prabhuji. And Gadadhar, I read somewhere in ISKCON Tree or somewhere that Gadadhar Pandit was not that old to
Mm,
that lean and thin,
mm,
but
mm,
yeah, but he said he talked to Lord Tota Gopinath ji
mm,
that I cannot take your
mm,
care of you. I am so weak. I cannot. You are so tall.
mm,
Gopinath told him like, no, only you can give me seva. And also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in a big ecstasy in the sea, at that time he was digging on the sand, and
mm.
and during that time Gopinath ji came out, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that deity Gopinath ji to Gadadhar Pandit to take care of it. Prabhuji.
Hari
So,
Bol.
so beautiful, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing those wonderful points about Gadadhar Pandit. And Gadadhar Pandit's guru is Pundrika Vidyanidhi. So there's a story about that as well.
Yeah.
How Pundrik Vidyanidhi is very rich and very opulent. And Gadadhar Pandit in his mind thought, how can this person be a great devotee? But then, when Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard the story and name of the Lord, he went into the Ashtasattvika Bhav, and Gadadhar Pandit thought, oh, I did an offense. And this is such an exalted personality. And Gadadhar Pandit made Pundarik Vidyanidhi his spiritual master. So uh, so we can learn a lot from that pastime as well.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Mataji.
very beautiful. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, when he recites that Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yes.
crying in ecstasy,
Mm.
so much emotion he had, and Gadadhar Pandit's mind totally changed seeing that. Thank,
Yes, Mataji.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. And in Tota Gopinath Temple, Lord Chaitanya used to come to read Bhagavatam with Gadadhar Pandit, because Gadadhar Pandit was greatly attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the story of uh, Dhruva and Prahlad, and those pages were um, uh, all kind of washed away by the tears of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit as they read together this Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you, Mataji, for reminding us on these wonderful pastimes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for guiding us and the importance of these great personalities. They are none other than Lord Krishna's close associates. And as Vicky mentioned, Gadadhar Pandit is non-different from incarnation of Srimati Radharani. And generally, Prabhuji, as you mentioned, in South India, because these are Channa avatars, so not much known. But of course,
Mm.
only confidential devotees get to know all these wonderful leelas.
Yes.
And Prabhuji, I also, at that Gadadhar Pandit actually appeared 1 year after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And of course, as you wonderfully mentioned, he has a wonderful pastimes with the Lord. And also Gadadhar Pandit, uh, no one called described everybody used to uh, glorify him, but he never used to take that glorification. So one day, I mean, along the bank of Gangas, uh, Guru Sundara, I think I vaguely remember Prabhuji, but anyway, if you have any pastimes of, you can mention Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for mentioning that. So this is a pastime at the banks of the river, Prabhuji? Yes, I'm not
Yes,
remembering.
Prabhuji. Yeah. I
Yes,
heard, vaguely remember, but don't.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. There are so many wonderful pastimes of the Lord, and we can learn about this as we go deep into the Lord's childhood pastimes. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's mostly the Leelas are focused after the Lord took sannyas, etc. But in Chaitanya Bhagavat, more of his childhood pastimes are given, and if we learn it thoroughly, there are so many pastimes we can narrate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit. Like you rightly said, they are almost same age, and they interacted so much even in the childhood. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Today I think we are blessed that we have got the chance of hearing the glories of Radharani today. So, because I think it is an hidden gems. It's not discussed every day. We are able to like get the knowledge and the glories of Krishna. So,
Mhm.
thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada was very um, not open about Srimati Radharani. So, because we have to be very qualified to take the name of Srimati Radharani, so we shouldn't take it cheaply. So he would even on Radhashtami, his lectures would be about Krishna and his pastimes, and then he would say, "This great Supreme Personality of Godhead is looking for Srimati Radharani, and he's attracted to Srimati Radharani. So he is Madan Mohan Mohini. So Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini because the Supreme Lord who attracts everyone is attracted to Srimati Radharani. So finally, he'll say that sentence to show the position of Srimati Radharani. Um, so um, we need to be very qualified to talk about Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna. Looks like Neela Govind Prabhuji has joined. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We'll be reading from Gita, chapter number 2. Dear devotees, today's sloka is very, very important. 39 is also very important. 40 is even more important. नेहाविक्रमनाशो स्त्री प्रत्यवायन विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायतो महतो भयात्. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Purport. Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed. Otherwise, the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. Whereas in the material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamila performed his duty in some percentage. 1 second, dear devotees. One person done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. Whereas in the material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamila performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100%. By the grace of the Lord, there is a nice verse in this connection. Tattva sadharmam charanam bhujam hare bhajan apakvo tapate tato yadi yatrakva vibhadram abudamusya kim kovartapto bhajatam swadharmataha. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness, then falls down on account of not completing his work. What loss is there on his part? And what can he and what can gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or as a Christian say, what profit man if he gains the whole world, yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and the results end with the body, but work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness, even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family. That will give one further success, further chance for elevation. That is a unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवशादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणम् हरे कृष्ण Actually, this is extension for sloka number 39. Working for Krishna, doing actions in Krishna consciousness is the greatest blessing. Why it is the greatest blessing? Because if you see in this material world, anything if you do, it has to be completed. For example, let's say you're working as a software engineer. You have to, there's a deadline that you have to finish this project by 31st July. And you have to complete it by that date. If that is not done, let's say if it is done partially, and you are the head of that project, you are the program manager, project is not done. Now, who is responsible? So you who are responsible because you own that project. That means your job is at stake. There's a problem. If this continues like that, they will remove from the job. So we understand this. We know this as we work as a software engineer or a software manager or a different profession. We understand. We have our requirements. We have, we know our use cases. We know we have to fulfill that. And we will fulfill that. As we are fulfilling it, so do we get our salary. According to that, if we don't fulfill it, then we'll be put into PIP. That means if something is not done correctly, we have to go through a process through which either we improve or they will send us out. It's a very simple stance. That means anything you take in material world, you have to finish it. You cannot do half and leave the other half. Do we ever see like that? We don't. That means we have to finish this continuously. So when we finish that, then that represents a completion. But even if we do that, tattva sadharmam charanam bhujam hari, even if it is complete, what benefit it is giving to us? Is it helping us to move from one state to other? Is it giving us happiness? Let us something about happiness. The advantage when we see anything in this world, We aspire something. Anything which we see in this world, we aspire. What do we aspire? We want to get some happiness through that. For example, you purchased a new laptop. The laptop is functioning great. It's not giving any problems. The speed is good. Everything is good. The fan is not heating up. The system is shutting down properly. It's booting up correctly. The performance is great. You expect all these things because you know about the computer. If these things are not working, if these things are working, why you purchase? Through that you either do some your office work or do some other work, hmm? Or you give it to your children so that they study on this. There's a reason for that, right? It means through that doing, you try to get some happiness because even actually when we earn money, we are not behind money. Please understand. We are behind the happiness which money gives. That means we think that the money, not think, we understand that the money will give happiness. We are behind the happiness which the money is giving, not the money. We're not behind that. That means what is that? That means the jiva, without his knowing, the jiva is looking for some happiness. Please understand this. What is the jiva looking? Jiva is looking for happiness. Why is the jiva looking for happiness? That is a natural state of the jiva. Jiva, even in his conditioned state or in a liberated state, he's always looking for that. In the liberated state, which is in the spiritual world or in the spiritual realm, by staying in the association of the Lord through the internal energy, the jiva is always receiving that happiness continuously. Let me tell you something. You see, children, they go here and there, they try to jump, they try to play, they try to tell that, this person is doing this person is doing this. They tell that. Through all of that, they are looking for happiness. You see, anyone in this world. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunamcha, looking for happiness. These four things are you eat. Don't you want to be happy while eating? You want to be happy. Aren't we looking for that? We are. You're chanting Hare Krishna. Don't you want to be happy? We want. Aren't we looking? We are. What is the posture of Shavanam? We are trying to understand the truth through which we want to come out of what we have, what anarthas we have. We want to come out of that. Not just that, not only just coming out of the anarthas, but also being absorbed in the process. Why? To establish a relation. Through that, what do you want to get? You want to be happy. That means, what is this? Okay. What is this happiness, dear devotees? This happiness is a state in which you always be in connection. What is this proper always is eternal happiness, eternal relation. What is this? What is this eternal happiness? Eternal happiness is something when that work for Krishna, which Srila Prabhupada is actually explaining since a couple of shlokas. The work for Krishna, when that intensifies, what do? You continuously be in that state. That means wherever you go, you're working for Krishna. You're remembering him. You're actually doing all those things by remembering him. It is not something wonderful. You actually remember them. As a difficult state, you remember the Lord. Takta sadharmam charanam bhujam hari bhajan napakko tapatet kato yadi. So when you see that, dear devotees, what benefit are we getting if we are not a Krishna conscious, but we are doing other activities? It's no benefit actually. But on the other side, little endeavor little desire to work for the pleasure of the Lord, to work for the acharyas, to please them, to make them happy. This is a little endeavor actually. This little endeavor, what is this? This will never diminish. That means, for example, you chanted very sincerely, or you heard very nicely, or you read very nice, or you did a service very nicely. It is not diminished. It will stay there. For example, you really chanted and you are really selfless. You want to be selfless. That desire, that action, that activity, it will never diminish. Please understand. But on the other side, see, this is a beauty. On the other side, if we are envious towards one person, that is materialism. Being envious is what? Materialism. Materialism on a material plane. That can diminish. See the beauty in the materialism, the beauty of the process or the beauty of the engineering which the Lord has done. On the spiritual level, it's not diminished. Neha Bikramanasos Pratyavana Vidyate. But on the material plane, we have engaged millions of lifetimes, forgetfulness of the Lord. That can be diminished by taking up this process. That means what is happening? Your spiritual endeavor, your spiritual effect, your spiritual activity, or you're really putting up that consciousness, consciously doing, consciously praying for the well-being of the other person, that will never go. When you do that, these things are diminishing and these things are elevated. That's even more beautiful. That means there is no diminish in this process, but rather there is elevation in this process. Through the elevation in this process, what is happening? Without our endeavor, there is diminish in that process. What is that process? Materialism. A lot of people will say, why are you practicing Krishna consciousness? What is the benefit? You might not see the benefit today, but you'll reap the benefit. Because we don't know our millions of lifetimes karmic reactions, our millions of lifetimes bad thought process, bad propensities are taken away. Simply through the process of Shana and Kirtan. Doing any activity, expect no sound, please. Doing any activity in Krishna consciousness, if it is pleasing the Lord, that gives you greatest benefit. Because you're actually working from, nobody will work in this world for him. Do you see anyone working for Krishna? You'll not see anyone working for Krishna. Only devotees. Only they work for Krishna. Sincere souls, they work for Krishna. Now, what is that working for Krishna? One time a devotee was being asked, Prabhuji, what is this working for Krishna? Working for Krishna is definitely working for Krishna. For example, you're taking care of your children, you work for Krishna only to take care of your children. Taking care of your duties, you work for Krishna only taking care of duties. Taking care of another service, you work for Krishna only taking care of the other service. That means you're actually working for Krishna to do that. You're doing that to please Krishna. You're not doing for any expectation that they will tell me this, they will tell me that, or they will appreciate me, they will appreciate them. Not for that. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning. Without any personal motive. What is Neha Vikraman associate? You simply work for the Lord in full Krishna conscious. Without any expectation. I'll tell something. Maharaj Shantanu, when he got married to Mother Ganges, what is happening? Maharaj Shantanu, when he was married to Mother Ganges, then what happened? They had first child. Now there is a mutual understanding before the marriage that whatever Mother Ganges, Mother Ganga would do, he will not speak a word. That means she can do anything of her wish or will. He doesn't have to say anything. If he says anything, she will leave. It's actually very interesting. That means this person is actually leading a life with her fulfilling all her desires. And not that she's having any desires also. She's just staying in the palace. There's no expectations. Suddenly, somehow they have a child. The first child she will dump in the water. He was about to ask her a question. Immediately he will remember that. What he's remembering? He's remembering that if I ask anything, she will leave. Oh, what is he doing? He's keeping quiet. Dear devotees, what is he doing? He's keeping quiet. Dear devotees, this asking of the mind, this asking his wife are the thoughts from our mind. Please understand. This asking those questions. Why are you doing this? Why is it happening like this? This inquiry. These are all coming from our consciousness. Now, Shantar Maharaj is a very great personality. It's not easy to accept all those things, but he accepted. Not one child, three, four, five, six, seven childs were put into water. He did not ask. You know what kind of consciousness one should cultivate? It's unimaginable. This person is not working for him. This person is actually working for the well-being of his society because he wants a son to rule the nation. For that, he is ready to accept any kind of difficulty. Please understand. That means he is working for a higher purpose. Shantanu Maharaj was withholding that. He is not asking Mother Ganges, oh, why this? Because the moment he will ask, she will leave. He's hoping that she will change through his association. He's hoping for that. These are the tolerance limits. Actually, after understanding or hearing this first time, so very clear indication that there's a lot to be done on the consciousness level. The tolerance limits which we cultivate in this world should be very deep. For that, we have to completely work for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. There's no other alternative in this world. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning. Neha Bhikrama Swasti Pratyavana Vidyate. Yes, definitely. Little endeavor in this process of Krishna consciousness is the greatest shelter and protection. For example, if a person, let me tell you something. There's two ways to take this law. It's interesting. One way is, let me do materialism, and then on the other side, let me do 1%. Neha Bhikramana Swasti Pratyavana Vidyate. Let me do 1%. So that this 1% is protecting me. No doubt that 1% will protect. But if I take the process in this way, that the other 99%, I will do whatever I want. That will not help me. No, definitely it will help me. But it will not help the person who is taking, in a way, 100% Krishna conscious. For example, if a person, through that 1% is getting that benefit, what to speak of a person who is taking 50%? What to speak of a person who is taking 60%, 70%, 80% Krishna conscious, 90%, 100%? Swalpam. That swalpam can be this much also. Swalpam is very limited. That limited can be this huge. Now Shantanu Maharaj has this one desire. He had to bring out new good progeny, so that this good progeny will be used or is required to rule this nation. Because his descendants are Pandavas, his descendants are Kauravas, his son is Bhishmadev. And later on the last step, he holds her. He's asking, why are you doing this? Why did you kill all these children? And give back. Don't kill this child. When Bhishmadev was born, he tells, don't kill this child. He couldn't accept anymore. His heart was not accepting. That means there is a limit for tolerance also. Please understand. There's a limit. So through that limit, what is happening? He simply told, I can't take this anymore. Please help me. Why? Please tell me, why are you doing this? Then she reveals the pastime. That so and so, through a curse, a sage curses those personalities. And then he says that you'll be born. They are from the heavenly planets. They will curse to be born in the material world. And then the moment they are born, they'll be killed. That was a curse. That was the reason why Ganges would become the husband of Maharaj Shantanu. And then the eighth son is Bhishmadev. And then she will take him away and she will train him up. And then later on, she will give him back. Give back the son to Shantanu Maharaj. See, dear devotees, the gravity which these personalities are carrying is unimaginable. See the caliber of this person. Maharaj Shantanu, he's been kept in a difficult state, but he's accepting all of those states. He's not complaining in any of his situation. Only a person who is fully realized can do this. That means if a person is working for Krishna, now that person gets those realizations. This is working. He's genuinely working. He's genuinely understanding. He's genuinely realizing, yes, this is the process. This is the way. This is what I should cultivate. This is what this is what I should do. This is what I should meditate. This is what I should remember. This is what I should realize. It's not doing anything else other than this. On the other side of Neha Vikramanaswas, what is that is? If I do little endeavor, I'll be protected. If I do full endeavor, how much protection I'll get? Unimaginable. You become the person of the Lord. You'll be there with the Lord. Just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, don't try to see Krishna, but act in a way that Krishna will see you. Krishna will see you because you're working for him. Because nobody in this world is working for him. Everyone is working for their own sense of gratification. No one is working for Krishna. Working for Krishna is not an easy thing. But Krishna is telling, if you do that, that's what he says, right? Patram pushpam palam toyam yama bhakta prayatada hamukta bhakti upartam asnami prayatatmanaha. If you do it with devotion, I'll take it. I'll accept it. Am tvam sarvapapebhyo. I will take away all your sinful activities, sinful reactions. Don't worry, Mahasuchaha. I'm going to take care of it. Mamekam sharanam raja. Am tvam sarvapapebhyo. I'm not that half papa, quarter papa, one third papa is removed. One third sinful activities, half sinful activities, one fourth sinful activities will be removed. No. Complete. Pratyavayana vidyate swalpam. Trayato mahatavaya. That means what is happening? the person is protected from greatest dangers. All the sinful reactions are taken away. I'll tell you something here. Let's say a huge, let's say bus is going to Tirumala, Tirupati. Tirupati is in South India. So it's a pilgrim place. Lord Balaji stays there, Venkateshwara. Okay. And then that bus took an accident, and then all people died. Now the news will come. The next day, the news will come. Oh, the people who went to Tirumala, they died. What is this? They went to the Lord and then they died. That means Lord killed them. Now everyone started telling, oh, what is this? This is not good. It's a very bad act. Why these things are happening like this? Is the Lord not there? Is he not available? If he is there, then why these people killed? Now people started complaining, started telling, oh, this is happening, that is happening. Oh, they don't understand that everything should go in their own way. They don't understand the karmic reactions. They don't understand that there is no permanent number in this world. They don't understand that everyone is understanding that I'm going to live for 80 years or 90 years or 70 years or whatever. Why? Because the nature of the soul, the jiva wants to always live continuously. Through that nature only, this jiva is also thinking that I'm going to be here forever. Not understanding that I might lose my identity or my existence at any moment. That this death can come to me at any moment. Doesn't matter whether I'm going to Himalaya or here or there or Tirumala or anywhere or even to a pilgrim place, even pilgrim places like Tirumala. When the material nature says the time is up, the person has to leave. There's no exception to that. And nobody is an exception from that. The material nature is doing its duty. Actually, a lot of people, I remember whenever I bring up this conversation with anyone, they say that Prabhu, please change this topic. Because they don't want to hear. Why? Uncertainty of death. Death is very uncertain. We don't know when it will come. Why God has created like this? Why it is designed like this? That's another question we need to ask. If everything is for sure, for certain, there's no question of dependency. Do we ever depend? If we know that we will live for 100 years, we'll plan according to that. Oh, I'm going to live for 100 years. If you're sure, for sure, that means I'm going to do, even if I hear Krishna consciousness, then I'm going to say, you know what, Prabhu, I know how much time I'll live. I'll live for 100 years. Let's say if that is being told to us. Let's say if every person in this world starts knowing when he will die. The moment they know the birth date, if they know the death date also, do you think that will be very helpful? No, it will not be helpful. Why? Because if somehow, shape or form, if he comes into the association of devotees and then begins hearing the truth, and then through that hearing of the truth, And we discuss that this material world is temporary, then immediately he'll say, Prabhu, it's not temporary. It's temporary, but you see, I'm going to live for 100 years. That means Lord has not created this world like that. And let's say if a person is living for 100 years, he will tell directly, oh Prabhu, let me enjoy until 80. After that, I'll have 20 years. And in 20 years, I'll practice Krishna consciousness and perfect my life. If a person is not perfecting his life today, do you think that the person will perfect his life tomorrow? No. Tomorrow he'll have some other problem. Just like Kailash. Narad Muni comes to Kailash and then he tells Narad, Kailash, come to me, I'll take you to the spiritual world right now. Then Kailash says, no, I just got married. I cannot come with you. My wife will be alone. That means he has an attachment. Or he's thinking that his wife will give him happiness. Through that happiness, he doesn't want to miss that happiness. Through that, as he doesn't want to miss that happiness, he is missing the real happiness. That means the jiva is why the jiva is always in the state of conditioning, because the jiva is always looking happiness in his vicinity. He is not trying to gain the happiness which is outside this so-called vicinity which he has. He is not looking for that. Please understand. Because he already has something. Through this thing, I'll get happiness. He will not look for that. He will never look for that. Because he's already experiencing this. Likewise, if a person knows that he will live for 100 years, he will never understand or put an effort to do self-realization. He'll never do that. Because he always postpones, because he has a number and a time bond and a time limit. He says that I'm going to do this later. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this day after tomorrow. I'm going to do it next year. I'm going to do it. See, in America, that's okay. America is a normal place. You don't have to practice that sincerely, that deeply. That's okay. Let me relax. That means the mind, the so-called things the mind will put us, will actually take that. That means what are we doing? We are not rejecting completely, we are not accepting completely. Please understand this. That means the person is telling, I'm going to practice at 80, just like Kailash is telling to Narada Muni, oh Narada Muni, hold on. I'm going to practice bhakti, don't worry. But not now, because I have a wife. She'll be alone. You come back after 20 years. When Narada Muni comes back after 20 years, the ball game is different. Now the ball game is on the children. See, I have small children. How can I come, Narada Muni? Earlier the ball game was with wife. Now the ball game is with children. Then Narada Muni says that, oh, I'll come back later. Then again when he comes back, he says that my property is so big, I have to maintain this property. You come back later. What is he doing at every moment? He is giving a new reason. Like as if we know our date, we will give these kind of reasons. Even though if we don't know our date, through the illusory state of this material world, जन्मादर्शयतोन्मयादितरतश्चर्तेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयात्. Oh, even this Lord has personally given this knowledge to Brahmaji. Great personalities, even Devi Devatas can be kept into bewildered state, in an illusory state. What to speak of us? A small jiva, part and parcel of the Lord. This jiva doesn't have any taste towards the Lord. This jiva can be put into bewilderment within a moment. We are that kind of a jiva. We don't have powers like Devi Devatas. Do we have powers like Lord Shiva to keep poison in our throat? That means Lord Shiva is not swallowing, is not spitting. He has to keep it in the throat. If he spit, it is a problem to the earth. If he swallows, it's a problem inside. So he's keeping in the throat. He's not doing that. those personalities where we can hold the poison in the throat. Big Devi Devatas, they are bewildered. When we actually see this, dear devotees, this state of bewilderment is so deep actually. Completely bewildered. Just imagine if we know the date of death, already we are in a state of bewilderment. We'll be even more bewildered. Because for everything we'll postpone because we have a date. Earlier we didn't have a date. Earlier we were in a state of perplexity. Now this is even more difficult. And that is the whole point. Lord did not told us that we have a date of death. That can come at any moment. But no one second. Hare Krishna, 1 second. So that state of bewilderment is a different state. That means at every moment we have something in the or the other to pull us back, to keep us in this material nature. Always think about when we think about this, dear devotees, it's a very precarious condition. The sadhaka is kept in a precarious condition. On one side, Krishna lifting Govardhan hill is a very beautiful, intimate pastime where all the Brajavasis are with the Lord. When we see that, dear devotees, you should get this feeling into the consciousness that, Hare, through my own ignorance, I came from that place. But the Lord is performing very beautiful pastime with his devotees. Through my ignorance, to stay in separation of the Lord, I came here. What a stupid thing. That means, what a cheap thing being done just to gain some happiness, independent of the Lord, have been kept here. But there is so much happiness by depending on the Lord. That is the whole point one should begin working for Krishna. Because the moment when one begins to work for Krishna, what is happening is, without his knowing, he is dependent on his mercy. Because he begins praying to the Lord, oh my dear Lord, if you give mercy, I'm going to do this. If you give that, I'm going to do this. Because I need this. Please give good consciousness because I have to work for you. I have to work for your devotees. That's actually what Prabhupada prayed. I have to work for your devotees. This is the motto. When we understand this motto, dear devotees, our life becomes simple. That means we don't have to complicate. We have to be simple and lead a simple life and then move forward. There's a great shelter in being dependent. There is no shelter in being independent. Through dependency, you get a lot of mercy. Through dependency, you get a lot of shakti. You get a lot of strength. Your faith is increased, intensified, and you move forward. That moving forward is the greatest for us in this world. That itself is called as Neha Vikramana Swasti. Pratyavayana Vidyate. Shalpam. Literally, you are dear devotees. Trayatam Hatavad. You are protected from greatest dangers. Little India. Little India, try to do this. Try to do this sincerely. Let me do this. Shalpam apyasha dharmasya. Trayatam Hatavad. That means that person, that devotee is being protected from the greatest danger. That means there is no loss. Little advancement on this path is protecting us from the greatest type of fear. Visha vinivartante niraharasya dehina prasavarjam dasobhyasya param drishtaya vartate. Vita raga bhaya krodha manavana mamupasita bahudo jhana tapasa putamad bhavam ashrita. That means Who is protected from the greatest fear? Who is meditating on that? Meditating on the Lord is also working for Krishna. That meditation on the Lord, meditating on His passion, meditating on His qualities, meditating on His energy, meditating on His principles. It's the greatest shelter and protection to every jiva in this world. Because what is when we gain some experiences in our lives, those experiences are the one which carry us forward, not the activities or action which I have done, the experiences which I gained. That means little reciprocations we receive from the Lord through the consciousness, they are the greatest shelter for us. They are the greatest hope for us. They are the greatest protection for us. Little India. When you do little endeavor and then you're getting reciprocation, what to speak of doing more and expecting more from that? You get that. That doing more, little endeavor, putting an endeavor. Endeavor should be there, sanction should come. That means if I kept an endeavor to please the Lord and then doing an activity or an action for His happiness, you're doing an endeavor, putting an effort and receiving the mercy. You're doing an action, you receive mercy. This you experience. You go, sit, chant, sincerely chant your names. Don't have any duplicious mentality with anyone. Don't have any envious feelings with anyone. Just sit, simply chant, simply hear. Don't expect that you'll get some rasa or you'll get some taste. No, just do it. Just do it for their happiness. If they desire, they will give you rasa. If they desire, they will give you taste. If they desire, they will give you love through that chanting. But do that. Because when you do that, without your endeavor, you'll come to the state of Namavas. Chanting in Namavas is very effective. So what is the core principle for that? You just simply do it. Don't expect anything. Don't expect that your tears will flow from the eyes. Don't expect. If Lord desires, He will give that. But have a desire. And don't ever compare this to anything in the material plane. Don't have any material expectation through your chanting of Hare Krishna. And before you try to chant, another important aspect which we need to cultivate is don't have any material desires. If you have material desires, that is aparadh. That is an offensive chanting. Don't have material desires. And don't complain. And don't argue. Don't discuss. And don't have a judgment mentality towards the absolute truth. Don't have a judgment mentality towards Vaishnavas. When we do this, what is happening? Slowly, slowly, one will come from Nama Aparadha to Nama Aparadha. Is this not a little endeavor? It is a little endeavor. Swalpam, this is the Swalpam which I am talking about. When we do this Swalpam in this way, Trayato Mahato Bhayat, we protected from the greatest danger. Why? Because you're doing Salpa. What is that Salpa? Not that you do sense gratification and then you do Krishna consciousness. That is not Salpa. Salpa is what? Cut all that nonsense and then do that little endeavor, Salpam, in the way which we discussed. When we do like that, there will you'll be saved from the greatest type of fear. Now, why am I telling that we should only do this way? This is what our acharyas are like. It's not my thing. This is their words. The words of the spiritual master. The words of the acharyas. Our mind can cheat us. We can cheat our own. We are cheating our own selves. But acharyas don't cheat us. Their words don't cheat us. They are our foundation. They are our foundation to Krishna consciousness. When we see through their lens, sometimes it looks like, hey, is it like I'm just following? Yeah, you should just follow. Who said it is not right? It is not right. It is right. We are following. But we are not following the so-called people of this world who run behind Dana, Jana, Sundari, money, woman, name, fame, profit, or treasure. Not running behind those personalities who run behind them. We are running behind those personalities who run behind Radha Vrindavan Chandra, who run behind Radha Krishna, who run behind their spiritual master. We are running behind that personalities. Because those personalities are free from this world. Because their desires are something. They don't aspire to gain so much. Their aspiration is that only. One person, their aspiration is that one person should become pure. Pure, dear devotees. Pure means pure. Free from all tinges, all anarthas. Should aspire for that. That is Salpam. Please understand, when we see this as a Salpam, Salpam means little endeavor, little effort. Our little effort should be on this side. This will protect us from the greatest calamities of this world. Adhyatmika, Adidaivika, Adibhautika. Misery is caused from this body, mind, intelligence. Misery is caused from the other living beings. Misery is caused from this material nature. We are protected. Why? Because we are doing that Svalpa, which is pleasing that Abhigna Swarad. Abhigna Swarad Janma Adyasya. That means that person is the cause of all the causes. Dear devotees, the Bhagavatam first sloka is the answer to all the questions. Janma Adi Yasyan Vatam Vayad Itaratas Abhigna Swarad. Who is that Abhigna Swarad? Are Vyasadeva has propounded Krishna as Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva is propounded. He has exclaimed, he has authorized Krishna as a supreme personality. You will not see this kind of authorization anywhere else. Actually, very interesting. I was asking this question to a person who practices other religion. I don't want to tell the religion name, but he's practicing. Then I was asking him this question. The question is, okay, you practice spirituality. Great. I was asking him, do you know how your God looks? He said, I don't know how my God looks. And then I started asking, do you know what he eats? He said he don't. Do you know what he likes? He said he don't know. Do you know what he does? He said he don't know. Do you know how does he spends his time? Do you know, does he have any intimate associates? If yes, what are their names? I don't know any of those things. Are you don't know any of these details, then how are you worshipping him? I said, ask this question. Ask this question to yourself. How are you worshipping? If you don't know any details of that person, how do you love that person? How do you serve that person? For example, I was asking him, do you know your father's name? He said, yes. What is your father's name? He said, so and so. Oh, you know your father's name? Do you know your father's name? Yes, I know my father's name. Are you know your father's name? You don't know your God's name? You don't know where he lives, what he does, what he does, what are his associates. I said, you should know these things. Just like you know your father, you should know your eternal father. When you ask these kind of questions, that is the beginning of your spirituality. And then I stop. Is it not an important question to be asked? We have to ask this question. We don't have to follow because millions of people are following this. We have to ask a question. Why millions of people are following? And what kind of following is that? If I don't know who my father is, what I will worship? For example, if I don't know who Radha, for example, if you don't know who Krishna is, what can we do? But here, Vyasadeva is propounding the Janma Adi Asya. Ara is the source of everything. He's the Adi, he's the Adi Purusha. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Are he's the Parama Purusha. He's the Adi Purusha, first Purusha. He's the source of Janma. He's the source of birth. He's the source of everything. He's the source of all the independence. He's the source of all the creation. He's the source of all the destruction. He's the source of all the maintenance. Wow. That means that one shloka which he has written, please understand this data over this. The same personality, before writing Bhagavatam, he has written all the scriptures, but his heart was not satisfied. Now that person is just there. His heart was not satisfied. He wrote everything. Is that not connecting to our shloka? Neha Vikramana Pratyavana Vidyate, Salpam. That means little endeavor in understanding about the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's the source of all, who's the source of all the sources, who's the eternal well-wisher, who propagates everything, who creates this entire creation. If we begin to learn about that particular person, who's the source of everything, that is the cause of all, that means all your distractions are removed. Your consciousness becomes purified. The moment Vyasadeva started thinking about what Narada Muni started telling, his Narada Muni told, you begin thinking about the glories of the Lord and then propagate that. Write Bhagavatam. The moment that instruction itself came, all the whatever so-called problems which he had, those are all removed. Wow. Is that powerful Krishna consciousness? Yes, it is, dear devotees. It's a very powerful process. Actually, sadhaka, if he is little sincere, he makes a lot of progress. The sadhaka doesn't understand that. But they make a lot of progress. Due to anarthas which are there from life after life. Through those anarthas, he is unable to understand, but he is making a lot of progress. He shouldn't quit in between. Rather, he should continue more. He should intensify the relationship with him and take this truth more and move forward. When that endeavor is kept, he'll do great. Salpam, is that not the Salpam? Yes, this is a Salpam. Every day in the morning, dear devotees, have this prayer. Let me do this, my dear Lord, this Salpam. Let me do this little endeavor. Millions of lifetimes I did nothing. Let me do this. Let me spend this couple of hours for your happiness. Let me do this chanting. Let me do this hearing for your happiness. Let me do this. Let me do this. I am not in the state of surrender. I don't know what that surrender is. I don't know what that submission is. Let me just do this. Let me just accept this. Let me just hear. Let me attentively be sincere in doing it. And then move forward. Every day in the morning when we begin doing this, our state of consciousness will be different. And thus we have to understand more and more. Hare Krishna. So that becomes our salpa. Salpam apyasya dharmasya. That is our dharma. Our dharma is what? Is to keep Krishna happy. How do we keep Krishna happy? By not doing any offenses, by not doing any duplicity, but rather have deep faith in his names, rather have deep conviction in his words, have utmost respect towards his pure devotees, towards his devotees. Anyone have respect. They are sincere devotees, spiritual masters. Our teachers respect them very nicely in the heart. When this we cultivate, we make a lot of advancement. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? Have any questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful expressing. And especially you mentioned right how we have to, even with small endeavor, we can get the greatest benefit if we are in spiritual. But material, how much here you earn or knowledge is gone. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
That little endeavor when we do towards the Lord, when we are marching towards Him, it's the greatest shelter and protection for us. We should do that genuinely from the core of the heart. When we do that, that becomes our swalpa. Then that swalpa will help us to come out all the illusory states of this world. Because we are kept in an illusory state. And we'll realize more and more Krishna consciousness. And we understand that this is the greatest thing which I have. This is my greatest protection. This is my greatest shelter and hope in this world. Because none of these things, none of the so-called relationship will help us in this world. Because they all diminish the moment we leave this body. But that relationship with Him, that is continuous. That's how that little swalpa which we did in this life will be carried forward into the next life. And then we move forward. We'll discuss more about this tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. If I caused an inconvenience to my words, please excuse me. I'll stop it here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yes, Karina, please continue. Thank you very much. If you are available. Hare Krishna.
Nina Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yeah. From Shilas Prabhuji, would like to.
Yes, Prabhuji. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्याचार्य स्तोत्र शटा अभय चरणार विंद डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्याचार्य स्तोत्र शटा इस डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज ठाकुर श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
अनेक कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय रामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम
Jai.
से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय
Jai.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय
Jai.
वृंदावन धाम की
Jai.
जय
Jai,
मायापुर धाम की
Jai.
जय
Jai,
जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय
Jai.
Jai.
गंगा
Jai,
माई यमुना माई की
Jai.
जय
Jai.
Jai,
तुलसी देवी तुलसी देवी की
Jai.
जय
Jai,
समवेद भक्त वृंद की
Jai.
जय
Jai.
Jai,
श्री गदाधर पंडित तिरुभाव दिवस की जय
Jai.
Jai.
Jai,
गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि
Hari Hari
हरि
Bol.
Hari
Hari,
Bol.
all glories to assembled devotees Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
all
Krishna,
glories to assembled devotees
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
all
Krishna,
glories to assembled devotees Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
all glories all glories all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga तमाम विष्णुदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी की नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्य पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद पंचा कल्पतरूपश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, have an amazing Krishna conscious Monday. Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Om Shri
Krishna
Rajput
everyone.
ki jai, Karina Mataji ki jai,
Jai.
Sati Mataji, all devotees ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Now.
Hare Krishna Banam. Very sorry I couldn't do Seva today. My microphone wasn't on. I'm very sorry I didn't realize. Hare Krishna.